Welcome back to the Beaconami channel. Welcome back to the most unreasonable video game you've ever seen, and welcome back, PlanetSide. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going once again to my mostest favoritist map, Supremismus. It's another one, another day, another replay. Welcome back. I hope you're ready for another interesting analysis. I hope you're ready to come in here and learn, investigate what's going on, and see how maybe we can improve our own games. Are we finally on the side of the UNN guy? No, we are still against our boy this game. Agi has switched teams. Now we are here to carry from the air roll. Hopefully we carry, We'll see how it goes. See what kind of impact we are able to have as we start things rolling. Mr. WYS might show us something interesting today. Third highest OS player going beach. You always love to see it. Some sort of interesting strategy, some sort of aggressive strategy out of Beach C, because at the end of the day, what gets you the wins from Beach C is keeping the enemy off of Beach C. And how do you do that? By being aggressive, getting your units up and blowing their lab up before they have their lab up, before they have their units out. Because the reality is, right, they've got so many more mexes than us almost always. So it's important to just get out there as quickly as possible, have as much impact as possible, and get as much going for yourself as possible. So what are we doing today? I'm trying to steal a con. Oh, what are we doing? Stop, get it going. Yeah. Oh no, but purple's here with the fighter. And we don't get it. Oh. So disappointing. Stealing a constructor this early on into the game is just hilarious and devastating, right? Like, not allowing him to get up his little extra fortifications, getting a free con. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. It's so worth it. I love, love, love going for that. So the way to do that, get yourself a little light trans. You have to press J. You have to press J with your little light trans selected on the enemy unit. If you lose sight of them, the command will stop. So it is pretty precise, pretty annoying micro that you have to do, but it can really pay off. I mean, stealing even the one is so OP. As we see the trans coming back over from opponent, we take it out instantly. Very nice. And we are doing great here. Look at this. Whoa, dark blue. Wait a second. Wait a second. Mr. Prime. Mr. Prime is seemingly all inning a little bit on some tier 1 here. Look at this, a bunch of Rocketeers coming to wage war against Mr. Zickus Pomislus, who is clearly quite the fiend. Now, light blue, much more. Let's see, how many wins? 24 to my. Do I have less wins right now? 9 plus 17. Okay, so I have more wins right now. How's his tier 2 looking? He's got 1 mix up. I've got 3 going to 4. Okay, so I'm a little bit ahead. A little bit ahead, maybe. Let's have a look. ADS 4.5k. We've made 6.6. Yeah, so I'm 2,000 metal ahead because I haven't made so many fighters. And actually still ahead in energy, too. So, making all these early fighters, it can really punish you, I feel like, when you're playing air. Not having enough to push this out. I think really Adeus' problem is build power right now from the look of things. You want to have probably 2 con turrets up at this point, right? Like, look at this, we're already up to 4, and now the scaling begins. This is the thing about air, isn't it? You're gonna be the big guy. You're in the back. You should be the big guy. There's no reason for you to not be the big guy. And I'm a big fan of being the big guy. I like having options. I like being able to spam units. I like being able to just surprise people. Look at this. Commander Fonzie, after being not allowed onto the sea, he is now. I gave him a little scout, gave him a little who's who real quick. Now, he takes this fight pretty badly in the end. He just has to push. He just has to, like, he just has to commit, right? He needs to have killed this, he needs to have killed this, and he should have been able to kill that too. in his initial attack, but he's just not very good at this micro. Doesn't matter too much in the end. He's still managing to win, and he also has his own heal units, which makes a big difference, right? If he wasn't healing here, this would be almost impossible for him to win. But I think instead, look at that. Yes, very nice. Now he is just totally winning, as he can just go take those out, and he has already taken the Cove Mexes. And this is the thing, what I was just talking about. To win, you really do just have to go and take those mexes. You have to go take the space. You have to fight the laboratory off. Dark Blue has taken the short front player who has died to a tank all in. Very nice. A bunch of, wait, is that a bunch of, this is like 10 artillery tanks and some mediums apparently that this front player died to. You hate to see it. Dark Blue feeling forced into Sheldons, of all things. I guess I'm still not a big fan of Sheldons. It looks like they'll have good impact here, though. They are really a good transitionary unit, same as Hounds, really. These are two units that are pretty bad past the 20-minute mark, even. But in this 10 to 20 minutes, you're loving it. If you watch any pro play, which I highly recommend, it's so interesting. If you watch any pro play, you'll see them going way earlier, 4 or 5, 6 minutes. They've got their tier 2 up, and they're just spamming Hounds for the entire team. Hounds are straight back in the meta, especially on smaller maps, and it makes sense. Because even Sheldons like this, when microed properly, you just get to have huge, ridiculous impact. Now, Sheldons are worse than Hounds for one simple reason in pro play, and that is they're less microable. They have less movement speed. The fact that you get all this range doesn't really matter when it's a bunch of blitzes. You're trying to win the game with essentially 5 units deployed when they're going Hounds like that. And so if it's 5 of these Sheldons, I think Sheldons are also more expensive than Hounds. But if they're Sheldons, they're just going to be too slow, miss too often, especially against some of the most common threats in pro play like blitzes. And so I'm not surprised that these Sheldons, while they can push back, they can hold. Here we go. Here's something that can actually go and cause some real damage. These Jags sprinting in right now would be an overload for our system, so to speak. Whoa, 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 whoa! We're already going up to Aphis, baby. Look at this. We're 2 fusions ahead of our opponent, who is now scaling wind. Respectable. Respectable. There's nothing wrong with scaling some wind. And frankly, if he's thinking about going for a bombing run, perfect. Perfect. That's what you want to do. You don't want to scale quite as hard. You don't want to go into these Aphis and all this nonsense, right? Because our Aphis, making us somewhere in the realm of 50... I believe 50 or 60 metal per second to pay itself off is quite a while. That's something to really take into account, when you're building this tech like this. This takes quite a while to pay off, while in comparison, a wind turbine generating at average, well, let's say top speed, right? 19, let's count it as 20. You're making enough energy to convert at the bad rate, 70 energy to 1 from a basic energy converter. At a bad rate, you're making your energy back in 40 times 3, 122 minutes, or your metal back. With an Aphis at 60 metal a second for 9,700, you're seeing what I'm saying, I think. Much longer to recoup your Aphis metal from the conversion than it is to recoup off of winds, and that's why the winds will give you such a smooth transition, especially on Isthmus, where you are getting up to 19 wind power. I really respect it. This is so clean, just transitioning into a tier 1 bot lab. He's got his build power nice and clean. Like I'm saying, 6. I gotta say 6 construction bots feels a little low. Really could be up to even 12, I'd say. Just fill it up with wind. Who even cares? Just fill it up with wind, scale that way, and bomb my ass. I really should be dying, however, or our team should be dying, I think, right? Seeing how greedy I've been. However, I've transitioned from the regular fusions into just building one Aphis. You guys saw with 2 blueprints down for a minute. That was just an aberration, a bad dream. I've died too many times recently to this kind of a build from enemy air, where now they just build some bombers and they come in with all these fighters, and I've been sitting here jerking my dick with my Aphis, and I go, uh-oh! So look at this. Look at this beautiful stream of fighters that I'm pumping out, and I say, okay, I've done my civic duty. I'm up to quite a few fighters here. Let's see what our numbers are. Let's see what kind of numbers we got here. Or at least try. It's 105 fighters to, yeah, that's more than opponent. So we're doing great. Very happy with that. Honestly, I could have turned this off, but who cares? I'm really starting to get attached to holding on to one tier 1 lab. Even though eating it and putting that metal into your first fusion, your first Aphis, totally valid, and I might even do it right now. Yep. I'm so happy to just have it as a making tier 1 cons thing. Isn't that beautiful, by the way? Oh, just getting to select all of your cons and just go E-Alt left click and just they suck up the wins like it's nobody's business. We start getting down some more labs. I think at 2 Aphis like this, getting down the second lab is very reasonable, although it's not necessary. This is kind of more of an all-in that I should be going for this second lab right now. And I don't hate it, because look at this. I think we can easily get up to 4 Aphis. We make this one, we pump into the conversion power, we eat this fusion, we get up to our 4th Aphis at 23 minutes. Really not bad, although yellow is way ahead of us. Way, way, way ahead of us. But we have kept up with units, right? This is what I've found is important when you're playing this air roll and you're kind of going greedy like this. You need to keep up with the units, because if you get all in, it's just too good. Any air player with half a brain is going to scout me here. They're going to see that I am super duper. Oh, wow, nice scuttle. God, scuttles are so good. Any air player with half a brain is going to scout, going to see that I'm super vulnerable. Honestly, if I had half of a brain, this is another thing, right, that I like to talk about in my videos, but I'm not deploying right now. Try to jam it into my head when I'm playing air. Scout, 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 scout. Imagine if I just scout over here right now. Dark Blue forced into an emergency tier 3 lab to try and contest some of this C bogus that's come after him. Oh man, look at those lunkheads. They look kind of fun. They do look kind of fun, man. I love that they look like Vanu tanks. Big Planet Side 2 player. Loved the Vanu. Loved me a Vanguard. Oh my goodness gracious. They are fighting back. They are fighting back on the blue team. I'm not quite sure how that just died. We did just see purple bomb orange, so it's highly likely that purple just bombed Geo as well. As we have got some slick scaling come back here. I like this. Well sectioned off, well cordoned off from the rest. As we are just continuing our way up. We are busy, busy, busy. I like that yellow has decided to stop scaling, and I am continuing on. And now he's picked it back up. Yes, this is so clean from yellow. Love this. Look at all the tier 3 he's pumped out. He's gotten himself up to 6 Aphis, and then he pumps out. Look, I mean, this must all be his, right? So it's 12 Razorbacks and 3 Vanguards, otherwise known as LRPCs on legs. Spider PCs. Oh, that's a good name. Spider PCs. 12 Razorbacks, 3 Spider PCs, and he is just happy to continue making units as he continues to scale Aphis. It's nasty. He's so far up. Look at this. Light green stopped scaling eons ago. 6 Aphis. You are behind, sir. Light blue is now sufficiently far behind. He stopped making wins, and it really does, once you start getting up to some Aphis like this, it really does start slowing down and getting you behind. So I really thought that like light blue should have had more than this, and seeing all these units actually really freaked me out, seeing all this air from him in the game. Although seeing it now, it makes sense, the kind of the position we're in. And again, if I had just scouted like a smart man, just gotten in there with some scouts, there's some pretty decent, no, that's not a good path, but there's some opportunities here for some scouting. If I'd gotten in there and seen what was going on, I probably could have gone for my own bombing run, and that would have really finished the game. The cataphracts. Wow, dude, I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's see. This has to. I mean, okay, it's 6,000 meddling units. Okay, okay. I feel less bad about it. Oh, light blue just wrecks my 6,000 meddling units. Oof, oof, oof. As purple, sneaky 6 bombers here, takes out all the titles. Nice. I mean, clean. Very clean. But could have taken out a lot of BP too. Probably these advanced converters. Well built by Orange, by the way. I think when I play Beach C, this is how I'm going to remember to scale in the future. And I really got to hand it to this guy. It's so important to scale from every single position after a while, right? This is not enough. This is not enough for Mr. Bryce. This is why he's 7OS, because he's not realizing we're 31 minutes into the game and you're making 40 metal a second. It's not enough. It's not enough. You are not a player anymore in the game when you're making 40 metal a second at 31 minutes into the game. You need to scale. So very well done to Orange, getting all of this scaling up. I hope he learned his lesson and put down some invisible detection. Because if I was purple, I'd be trying to scam this guy and get in from the sea here. As, whoa, air player, air player, air player. We have converted ourselves into a tier 3 guy now. What do you guys think of that? This seems like a very clean choice to me. That's why I did it, of course. As I kind of just want to run down purple to the best of my ability. Now, purple was pretty strong over here. He's got, I mean, two pulsars is no freaking joke. That is for sure. And this juggernaut that he's managed to produce as well is quite the meanie. Purple, well done. He's remembering to scale. See, unlike our GOC, very notable here, we're really not scaling yet, and it's quite unfortunate. We need more conversion power. We just need more conversion power. I like that this. I don't know if this was a front guy. Maybe this was the Geo guy here, who just relocated after getting destroyed here. Has been building up back here the entire time. Just spamming tier 1. That's chill. I don't mind that one little bit. As light green. Enemy tech player has taken up a fortified position, and you know I commend his boldness here, and it's paying off as we're just kind of suiciding our units in. But I think this is a little bit too much investment still. It just doesn't really it just doesn't win too much. But now he's trying to win with it. So let's see. Maybe he can win with it. If you can turn the investment into a win, then we're talking. So show me to win. Show me to win. As I am ready to contest again. So now I'm just bigger than light blue by a lot. And I don't know if I'm expressing it very well yet. Like, it's, even though, look at this, I'm converting 20,000 more energy per second. It's crazy. I have so much build power, it's not nearly enough. I need to be able to build more build power here. I could build more build power kind of like this over here to fund the tier 3 lab better. I like that a lot of this stuff can still kind of get over there. I could start thinking about eating up this build power actually and turning that into APHIS as well. More BP could go over here for more conversion power. I just need more spending power in general and more labs. I need more cons. I need to be able to spend more. I'm so big. I'm so freaking big. Look at this, 900 metal per second. And now we're finally at that stage with this APHIS investment, even though we've invested 145,000 metal into this, and our conversion power also no joke. Okay, our conversion power also no joke. We've invested quite a bit into that. If we can kind of hopefully get Ally out of the picture here a bit. 13,000 there, and another like probably 13,000 here. Yep. So we've invested almost 200,000 metal into our eco, but now we're getting 100 metal per second. And guess what? Now we're starting to make our investment back. 200 seconds to make our investment back. Now we're talking. So feeling big, feeling large. I think I'm bigger than their entire team right now. Almost. So we have managed to just put our pedal to the metal on the scaling game and are just producing threats, right? Even though this is kind of dumb of me, although well played putting up the tier 2 walls so that I can't just kind of walk through it. But yeah, just feeding. Yeah, that was not nice. Feeding into Dark Blue, quite a bit of metal, by the way. 13,000 metal delivery, although it's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. As I look at this, we're up almost a million already. As Yellow has also continued scaling, and this is just the difference, right? This is the difference between two people that have sat in the back line scaling all game, while one of our C's won, had great impact. The other C completely held, which is so crazy. The fact that Orange has just held on the entire time. He has scaled. He's outscaled Purple. He's outscaled Purple. Purple is sitting here. He's like, I'm a god. I'm so big. I'm so fat. I'm sitting here on my little kingdom. A kingdom come over here. You know. I'm the golden god sitting on my throne of 6 Aphis. No sir. No sir. Look at Orange. Look at Orange already. He's sitting on a golden throne. He's sitting on a golden throne of 12 Aphis. Little boy. So we're starting to have troubles spending our resources as, look at this, I finally deployed extra labs. This needs to be filled up with, BP. We got to get more BP over on this side. I like mixing in the Thors. This is really actually going to allow me to break through this static defense. If I can hit this line with some Thor shots, hit this line with some Thor shots, the EMPs are so dang good. Oh, as Yellow ready to push on out a little doorbell. BRB. Straight back into the action, ladies and gentlemen. The doorbell rang. We answered it. We're done with that now. So tech player on blue team has identified, maybe the air is a problem. I also like that Yellow has made a little space in his heart and his life for some air. Very nice. I think that's a huge thing that just makes you so much more likely to win in your games. If you've scaled nicely like this is just going to be, it's just going to increase your chances so greatly of being able to win. Just mixing in these extra tier 2 air facilities. Let's have a little dick measuring contest. What's Yellow up to here? 16 plus 29. Is that all him? Yep. That's 45. He's way ahead of me. What the heck? As we're up to 24. Dang it. Oh well. We're just so it's one of those things about this game. There is just a certain point where if you're not scaling more and the enemy is, you're just going to lose eventually. We're just eventually going to have 30 Titans that can walk forward and 30 Titans that can stand at home in all the lanes and 30 Titans that can go to another location. So in the end it's just quite powerful. TBH. As I think the writing is kind of on the wall with this one, isn't it, folks? It's just a matter of time before our almost infinite resources at this point. I mean, we're making more than 3,000, more than 4,000 metal a second. And since we last checked in, Blue has not. I mean, they're making 100 extra metal per second. They're going for the desperation nukes. I understand, but unsurprisingly, I mean, at a certain point, that's kind of the only thing that's going to kill you. And Yellow, smart man, says, yeah, I guess I better scale some anti-nuke. I also had a similar thought, and so Light Green's little transition here at 40 minutes. Too late. Just too late. So, really a huge profit game. We just sat back, profited, watched as our little attacks had some effect here and there, and felt good. Felt good making it to the late game. And I think a big part of why it ended up feeling so good was because we made Light Blue afraid. Light Blue really said to himself, like, I cannot survive if I don't build worse scaling, and if I don't build tons of fighters, tons of shurikens, if I don't build these answers. And the problem you're always going to run into when you're a really reactive air player in the mid game is if enemy air did anything at all that resembled scaling, or even just fighting you head on when you're building all these other options, you're just going to end up losing. It's just that simple. You're just going to end up losing. You're going to feel bad because you just didn't have enough at the end of the day. And that's why I think it's so important to just be scaling in the backlines. Our Thors are probably not having the best day ever. We've heard them firing a few times now, but what can you do? They're just free spirits at this point, free agents. They need to go get their value out there, kings. But they end up kind of falling down a little bit. What can you do? So at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter though, does it? Feeding some tier 3 away happily. Feeding some tier 3 away happily. As we will just be bigger. It's not, this anti-nuke I regret. This anti-nuke I regret. I wish this could be 2 extra APHIS, but it's whatever. It is whatever. And hopefully we start a little extra spam going soon as well, as spamming is such a important thing, right? Taking it up with Mr. Haru feels great. And Mr. Haru really showing off his knowledge here. This is a great amount to commit to, and now he can just build tier 3. I love it. 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 He could go fight on seas with this. He could go... Oh, look at it. He's ready. Let's end with nuke over bomb. Oh, you fool. You fool. You fool. We have more anti-nuke than you. We have much more anti-nuke than you. You fool. So, I also happen to have... Holy... 129 gunships I happen to have. I could go end the game with these. They do not have enough anti-air. I think I could just F drag click and send in my fighters with it and just win the game with those. That's how big we just kind of are. As we're starting to overflow now. We've stopped scaling. We have everything on repeat, but it's still just not producing enough. These boys aren't doing anything. We need to put down another lab amongst them. As we've consumed 1 tier 3 lab. That seems silly to scale more. Who knows why. Yellow is also continuing his scaling. Hasn't put down another tier 3 lab yet. Probably should. Probably should as well. Just incredible. I think if I was him right now with so much stuff going as well, somehow he's spending all of his resources, unlike me. Where's he spending it all on? How's that possible? 4 air labs in a tier 3 and that's enough? And I can't spend all of mine? My BP must just be really badly distributed. Something to kind of think about in these late games, right? I'm somehow just not taking enough advantage. This is just not enough BP for the stuff that I've got going on down there. Also, not using these is very unfortunate. I wish I was spamming some more. At this point, I should just be spamming incisors. Like, that might feel nasty. I could even spam brutes at this point. As, yeah, it's pretty over. It really was interesting. Purple never actually tried to get onto the sea. He just kind of, yeah, he did just send the big tier 3 units without really scaling enough to send enough, you know? So, ends up getting punished as Orange just way outscales him and makes his own tier 3. It's sometimes this most unreasonable video game just comes down to a question of who made more eco. Today it was our team by a lot. We made double the metal, double, triple the metal per second for quite some time, and it really pays off big time. I like this from Magenta as well, just starting all of this spam up out here. Could do more, could do tier 3 labs, you know. He's really getting his eco going. Just a beautiful sight. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.